I do some of my best thinking while I'm driving and when I'm running. Those are the two times that I have my ultimate time to myself. And I got into thinking, how can I help other people with this Maffetone method? How can I show them that this is a really good way to train if you're just coming back after an injury, or you've been burned out, or you've been out of the sport for a while, or if you're a brand new beginner? This is a great way to be able to run faster at the same heart rate over time, reduce the injuries, be in your happy place, and don't overtrain. It's also helped me lose a ton of weight, bring back the joy of running again, and it's allowed me to train to run an ultra marathon, for crying out loud. I've been using this method for the last number of years, and it's helped me a lot. However, there's a lot of things that I wish I had known before I started, and I looked and I couldn't find the information. So this video here, I think, is very useful for anyone who's thinking about improving their running. And I don't care if you're a beginner or you've been running for a while. However, caveat, it doesn't always work for everybody. It's an arbitrary number, 180 minus your age, and that is the heartbeat that you're going to be running at for all of your runs. Guess I'm going to go around that lake. Time to get changed and go for my run. Oh, look at that. There's a bridge over there that I'm going to run on too. 3 simple tips that are going to help you in your Maffetone training, aka running slow using heart rate as your preferred training method. So let's start with number 1, shall we? You need to understand what terrain you're going to be running on. Ideally, to get the best results, there are a couple of ways that you can do this. One of them is if you live in a hilly area, you are around a lot of trails, or you live in a town that has nothing but hills, then what you can do is you can hike, power walk the ups, and then you can literally run the down. If you run the downhills, you can go pretty fast. And then hiking up or walking up or whatever you have to do, or it's a light jog, and you keep doing that repetitively, that could be something that works in your benefit. The second thing is being consistent. Getting out and doing your MAF run each and every day really does make a big difference. And I've seen the results over the time that I've been using this method, and I love it. Benefits really happen when you're not paying attention, or you are paying attention, you're plotting it on your graph, and then at the end of the day, things look pretty darn good when you go ahead and take a look at your graph to see how you're improving. So that's one way that you could really improve in your training when you're trying to use heart rate as your preferred method. Don't forget, you can hike. Hiking is okay. We are all runners at heart, or we are aspiring runners. So ideally, running is something that you want to do. However, some of us just don't have it in us yet. Some of us we got weight to lose, guys. Some of us have that. And I know for some of you, maybe if you're just starting out, running kind of can be embarrassing if you have a lot of weight on you. I know for me, it's something that I had to overcome. And the way you handle it is going to be strictly up to you. You need to find your mechanisms to overcome these issues of feeling inadequate. You don't look like a runner. You have to have thick skin or any of these types of things. Me, I put my podcast on and I go out and I just run, and I try not to pay attention to what others think of me. And now I am off trail. You have to be patient. You have to be patient with yourself, with your training. If you miss a run, no big deal, just continue on. Don't overly stress out about these things, because stress is one of those things that raises the heart rate. So ideally, you just have to be patient with yourself and know that it's going to take a certain amount of time to see results. And like I said, it can take upwards to sometimes 3 months, because sometimes people revert, they regress in their training before they get better. And that's just something that comes with the territory of heart rate training. No 2 weeks are going to be the same, and no 2 runs are going to be the same. You could run the same route every single day for as many days as I've done, and you may get different results each and every day. The weather, food that you eat, the stress level, the amount of sleep that you've gotten overnight, whether or not you're dehydrated. There's so many things that affect heart rate. But the big thing is the body doesn't know whether you're running or whether you're walking or hiking, power walking. When it comes to heart rate, your heart rate's gonna do what it's gonna do. And if it goes up high, just because you're walking, that just basically says that that's where your aerobic base is. And as hard as it can be to look at that and go, my gosh, I don't have a very well developed aerobic base. Look, there's a lot of runners out there that have a very, very poor aerobic base because they've never really spent the time to build it up. They run fast a lot of the time. For recreational runners, or even for runners who have been running for 6+ years, man, there's always something to be learned, right? I am just an average runner. I'm just a guy who wants to run a 100-miler. As crazy as that sounds, that's the type of person I am. I just like to explore what the body can do. But to be able to do these things, I'm using myself as that, that experiment, to see where the limits are, to see what's possible, to see if it can take me to the places that I want to go. And if I can't get there, at least it gives me a roadmap onto how I can possibly make it. Sometimes you don't make it the first time around. Sometimes you have to come back a couple of times. And it's like that with heart rate training. Some of you have maybe dropped off and stopped using it. Some of you have moved on to 80-20, and that's cool. It's a great way to go. Some of you maybe run walking, and that's very acceptable. You're training for yourself. You're training to run longer. You may be training to run faster and longer. Whatever your goals are, sometimes you just got to do the hard thing, and starting can be hard. And as time goes by, you think that you would get that it wouldn't be so hard after a period of time, but guess what? It never gets easier. You get faster, you kind of get used to doing what you're doing, but it never really goes away. Like the training is training and running is hard. It uses a lot of different muscle groups. And specifically if you're on the terrain that I'm on right now, man, the rocks and roots and mud are everywhere. And I just have to kind of grin and bear it. And know, look, I want to run, but I'm not running right now. I'm literally walking, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. It happens. But my heart's still getting a workout. I'm gonna get some elevation gain in here, and my body's just, learning to, balance itself on all of this different type of terrain. While I talk on a camera, like did I just say, wow, there's a lot of mud here. Crap, sometimes, that was a soaker. That's just awesome. I love it when crap like that happens. Yeah, my foot went in. My foot did go in. Yeah, come my way, it was easier. Yeah, there's a rock right over there. Yeah, no worries. Well, I was trying to run, but yeah, like it's very wet. Like a mud bog. It's all good though. Enjoy the rest of your day. See, sometimes you just meet cool people on the trail. And they're going through the same challenges you are. They want to go for a run, but sometimes the terrain that you're on doesn't really allow you to, because your heart rate jumps way too high. So like I said, patience, forgiveness. It's okay. It's okay. I'm power hiking. Hi, Chippy. Oh, God, I just want to run, but it's just too many leaves covering too much of I don't know what's on the ground. Whew. It's a great way to see the city. Okay, where's the trail? Sometimes it's really hard to see where the heck the trail is. There's so many down trees and everything's kind of covered. So you're doing your best. Everything looks the same. I hope I'm going the right way. I think so. Fingers crossed. Paying attention to how you're breathing can really help you in your heart rate training. Because if you're breathing too much from your chest like this, it's just, your heart rate tends to go up. But if you start to breathe in from the diaphragm, like big breaths, right? Like It's hard for me to do it right now for you guys because it's so rocky and muddy and everything's covered in this water. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if I were to do this, it would sound like, oh, jeez. It would sound like, you know, 3 breaths in, right? Right? Sometimes people do 3, sometimes people do 4, but whatever works. And I found it's really helpful when I'm trying to get my heart rate under control. I also find that if I take my hands and I put them down by my side for a little bit and just kind of wiggle my fingers, and right, that also has helped me in the past. I started there and now I'm here. So I'm going further away. I'll get to the lake again. Here to see than what I just went through. At least I can see the rocks and roots. Maybe I'll try to do a little bit of running in here. Man, it's been a while since I've done a trail run. I don't know how my heart rate's gonna be, but yeah, it's 120. All right, let's try to do this. I don't want to get lost. Yeah, I've never been here before, so let's not get lost. Oh, it's actually gone down to 114. Okay, that's a little too low. All right, let me try to pick up the pace. So many trees down. Oh my gosh. Hey, hey, look at this. It's old. This is cool. It's an old barn of some sort. Get all the names on there. Very cool. It could be just like a storm shelter or a wood shed. Ah, look at the old foundation. There's got to be some history on this, because this could be the old. Oh, this is very cool. See, these are the types of things I like. Like, I love this kind of stuff. This is the old. It's an old house of some sort. I don't know if it burnt down or whatever happened to it, but it's certainly long gone from a long time ago. Very cool. Oh man, I would love to have this piece of property. Check this out, right in your backyard. God, this is gorgeous. Imagine coming down from the house and then this is what you, this would be yours. Incredible. Look at that. Oh yeah, it is awesome. I love running at this time of year. I get to have a shower outside.